most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Alright guys, been a while. Back here with the Aquaponic small backyard garden. Just going to show you a few things. Got some new fish. I added to, there's 2 regular goldfish. There's one of them down there right now in the pond. And then there's a whole bunch of feeder fish. Caught them flatheads, but I don't really know what they are. And then I already had some feeder fish from last year. They're a little bigger than those, and there's probably 6 of those in there. There's 2 brown goldfish that are the same size. Can't hardly see them in the pond. They're just brown goldfish. They're also very aggressive. Strangest thing I've seen is a bully fish. You ever seen a bully fish? If you watch, there are bully fish. I have it on video that one just constantly harasses the other one. Then I found out today there were 2 of the brown ones. I didn't even know it, so I don't know if they're both aggressive. I seen them both chasing a goldfish earlier. So anyway, on a side note, I got the small fish because I remember back in the 90s when I learned about aquaponics and stuff. Then through the years I've learned a bunch about it. I guess the going average is 2 inches of fish per gallon of water. So I was far below that, so I thought I'd put up the numbers. Got all these little fish, plus that gives the bully fish something to do besides pick on the other ones. There wasn't enough for him to do. Now he can go bully all of these fish. And anyway, so then I got a new feature I'm testing out. I know it looks kind of goofy. Let's get back here. Got my cattails, they're doing good. There's a backlight, which is just a LED light bulb with a speaker that's somehow waterproof. I've got that little pump that pumps down over this little castle. I've got the little Dutch boy with the basket. It's got just standing water in it. And we'll come over here. I got the fairy. She's got a little guitar underneath there. Just noticed the other day. It's like a guitar she's sitting by, so she's perfect. And this is the water feature I just came up with. It's about to go over the edge. So you see how the water is going now. It's just a pump comes up through the middle. There's some leakage there. But as that comes up with algae and such, more water should come off the top. There's just enough where this has taken about probably about 8 minutes for the water level to come up. There's no seal really, I just stuck a piece of foil there to create a little better seal to speed up, because it was coming up but really slow. So it's kind of the middle ground. But yeah, so now I have a 2-tiered bird bath, which if you know anything about this attracts birds like crazy. They like to come up here. This is solid glass under there. Yeah, I just sucked the air out with the shot vac, and the water stays. I have to do that about once a week. You see the air bubble starts there because it's not level. But yeah, I sit out here and watch my fish. It's not the best angle, but when you're sitting in my chair there, it's just a nice chill spot. But yeah, this is about to come on. Oh, it's just starting to. So cool. You might think this is stupid, but the birds are gonna love it. The water comes down. And right now there's tons of birds take baths, but now they have a deep dive pool, or a 2-tiered bird bath. How long before that gets knocked over? I may just set that with some kind of contact cement, just so it can't ever come over. Because I really like it. You might think it looks stupid, but whatever, it's functional. It's a 2-tiered bird bath for them guys. You wouldn't believe how many birds. It's just like one day there was 6 species out here competing, just taking turns. There was sparrows over here. I mean, I wish I would have got it on film, but anyway, The point of Aquaponic Garden is to convert the fish poop into usable nutrients. The plants achieve that through nitrogen fixing bacteria. It turns the nitrites into nitrates and so on and so forth, and science this and science that. But this water is perfect for growing plants. One really way you can kind of think about it, if you ever go around to any lake, it's very lush right around the lake. Just outside of it might not be as lush or big growth. And that's just because it's the perfect environment for nutrients and water. So we got lots of water. We've updated the watering system. You haven't really seen the garden for a while, so let's just take a tour real quick. We got the basil area booming. Peppers booming. This is the pepper area up front. They're all doing pretty good. Some hiding in there. There's one little one back there. Now these are the green beans. My whatchamacallem, peas, snow peas, they all died on the vine, but I stuck a couple bean pods in here. I don't know if these are regular bean plants, but whatever they are, they're growing. I'm happy. And then those are my log things. So they're not doing great, really, the beans this year. Again, beans didn't do good last year. And then we got the Whoville garlics. These things are so cool. They grow that giant furry ball on there. And yeah, then we come down, we got thyme, purple flowers coming out everywhere. Another kind of thyme with white flowers down there that I planted this year. It's getting kind of buried. Thyme plants get about almost 3 foot around. Come back there, take that cilantro. Weird tomatoes. Then we got tomatoes. Then can't remember, I think that's sugar beets, and then asparagus. Asparagus is starting to really do good. We got a weed. Get some of the weeds. We did do the tomato weed thing I talked about. You can see also the border. It's all lettuce growing, and then I get the tomatoes down the center here. All ran by the solar panels. If you didn't see my last video, these pumps. There's 4 watering systems now. I'll get into that in a minute. We'll just finish up with the plants. So there's that. All the grapes all along this fence. They're all starting to pop pretty good. Come back over here. The raspberries down there, growing some raspberries. Kind of holding up the grapes in the corner. There's 4 varieties of grapes, but they've all kind of intermingled. Well, let's get back to watering systems before I show you the alley. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So there's the misting system. Kind of mists everything. That's one system. It's all down and through. Creates quite a bit of mist, as you can see. It's all the tomatoes and stuff real well. That's system number 1. We'll come to system number 2. It's under the lady. There's a plug. I just plug in a pump. She's at the bottom of this pond. I've got it throttled down. It pumps through here, and then it pumps through these tubes, which are full of soil. It's a soaker hose, so it soaks the soil. There's also holes drilled, many holes drilled under each planting site, so when the roots finally do come out of the cups, they can go down and into the well-watered ground, tap roots and whatnot. So that's system number 2. That runs all the way down, all the way through soaker hose. The end is not a soaker hose because those aren't populated, never have been. Those need smaller net cups. I might do that next year. But yeah, then out the end of the tube it goes into, you can see over here, it goes into the edge. And in the edge This is the third system, which is connected to my gutter up there. It comes down. It's a hose. See on the slope coming out of the gutter. Goes down, runs along the back side of the garden. It's got holes drilled intermittently. It's all on a downhill with a level slant. It comes down and around and it goes out in the alley. So that's system number 3. I'll come out to the alley before we go to system 4, the new one. Come out to the alley. So the grapes, let's see. The grapes are all under there. It's a perfect spot for getting those. Raspberries all through here, becoming a security fence with one rose bush. But yeah, the raspberries doing real well. A couple strasberries thrown in the mix. And we got grass and strasberries here. I just put the grass in. This year, strasberries will eventually take over. They're growing well, no berries. And we got the kale. This right here is carrot going to seed. More kale with kale flowers, Got more carrot. This is lettuce, I know it's getting tall, however it is. Strasberries, carrot going to seed. Little cucumber plant just hanging on. More carrot, lettuce, more strasberries. So kind of a big mix along the neighbor's fence here. And then there is a water line and also a mister system all through here. I don't really use it now. The water line is just excess water from the gutter. It makes it through the whole system, doesn't leak out. It comes out here, waters all of this on its way down. So it's about enough of the alley. Let's come back and I'll show you the fourth system real quick here. This is the new one. So we come back here. Misters are on, but I don't care because it's not really a lot of water. So it's this little white box. So go on Amazon, you can buy these boxes. All it has is a day and a time. Just push the day button. So it's every day it's a 1. When it's a 2, it's every other day, 3, every third day, so on and so forth. But right at this time, you start to pump for 195 seconds now. If you can see that, 1 in there. And you got some in here. They're pumping this water out of this tank. It's a self-priming pump and it instantly pumps. And then there's some more down in there and it's gonna pump for 180 seconds, which I filled up a container and it's about 1.5 gallons of water that it pumps in that amount of time. So I'm getting a nice little watering out of that container. I just got to fill that out of the pond every once in a while when it gets like stewed in the sunlight, stinks. So yeah, I'm getting a little wet being in the tomatoes, the mister. But yeah, it's not loud. Those systems are awesome. It comes with a 12 plant splitter. Let me clean the lens here. So it's just getting to the end of the cycle. Got 75 seconds left. The mister's going. Everything's getting nice and watered. Doing good. Show you one more thing. Let's go back to the new water. Oh yeah, them birds are gonna love that. Look at that. It's coming down. The size, it's perfect. They're gonna have bird bath fun. Oh, before I go, this reminds me of a story. So hopefully the birds don't knock that off, bounces off there, hits the aquarium, smashes it, puts a hole in it. I say that with clarity because that actually happened to me one time years ago. I was in my apartment. I had, it's probably 2005, 2006. I had a giant wall of speakers. I repoed houses, so I'd always find all these speakers every day, and I kept them, and I had like 60 speakers, something crazy. I had like 5,000 watts driving, all home stereo amps hooked together. It was a wiring nightmare, but I had it. And as I was placing 2 new Iowa bookshelf speakers, I was putting them way up top by the window. I had them next to both windows, and I was putting them up, and I dropped one. It came down, hit my glass table, bounced up, hit the aquarium, and put a perfect 3-inch hole in the side of my huge, I mean, it wasn't huge, but it's a 25-gallon aquarium. So it's a 3-inch hole, and near the bottom pops up. Somehow that speaker just pierced it, and it shot like a fire hose right at me. I was sitting on the couch, and right at my feet is a fire hose of 25 gallons, just floods all the wood, shitty fake parquet flooring. Just instantly, I was like, emergency. I jumped up, I was like, emergency, emergency. There's fish flopping around, cats are freaking out. I'm running around. I grab the sheets off the bed, throw them down on it, grab the towels out of the bathroom, the whole stack, come out, throw them down, start kicking them around. Thank God I did. It didn't ruin the floors by some miracle. Nothing was ever said about it. Didn't rain in my neighbor. Actually, my neighbor did mention something about it years later, but that's another story. I got another story about raining in a house that happened to me also years ago, but we'll save that one for another time. Thanks for joining me for a little while. You have a good night.